specifically, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? The four-way test was written by a Chicago Rotarian, Herbert J. Taylor, in 1932, and he was looking for simple and straightforward, purely subjective form of self-analysis. So we can say a four-way test is simply a self-analysis. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary, for your four-way test. And it's a time for welcome address by A.L. Ramanathan, President. I welcome you all for the meeting. Today, the day NH44, longest national highway in India, which connect Kashmir and Kanyakumari. Today, we are in Madurai, near Kanyakumari, and they are in Kashmir. So we are bringing new way in between Kashmir to Madurai. I welcome you all for the wonderful meeting. It is my great pleasure to welcome the chief guest for the day, our District Governor, Rotarian A.L.Chockkalingam, RI District 3000 Governor, and Rotarian CA Davinder Singh, sir, District Governor, RI District 3070 for the meeting. I also welcome the President of Rotary Club of Kashmir, Rotarian Dost Muhammad, Secretary, Rotarian Ramesh Hassan Khan, the special guest of the evening, who is from California, USA, Rotarian Salvador Rico, and members from Rotary Club of Madurai West and Rotary Club of Kashmir. I welcome all of you for this wonderful evening meeting. About our last week activities. Last week, that is, we did one service project of providing food on 7th of November. We provide food for inmates of New Creation Trust, intellectually disabled people of 50 numbers. We provide food. I want to tell one thing. On that day, we provide biryani. While I visited Kashmir, I got an opportunity to taste Mughal Darbar biryani in Srinagar, which was a wonderful one. Whenever I taste biryani, I usually tell about the Mughal Darbar biryani. So we also provide biryani, which is equal to Mughal Darbar on that day to all inmates of the home. And I also tell you one good news about our meeting with Rotary Club of Kashmir. I told Kashmir members about our tree plantations, everything. And they also told they are also very much interested to join with us for tree plantation. It's a great time. I just informed to you that Rotary Club of Madurai West and Rotary Club of Kashmir jointly going to conduct tree plantation project in Kashmir. While he discussed with the President, Dost Muhammad, he told we have to plant the trees and all things will be maintained by Forest Department. They gave assurance to maintain that forest well. So I want to thank Kashmir Club. I also thank our DG and DG of RI District 3070 for giving wonderful support for the project. So I welcome all people, all guests, and all of them for the meeting of this inter-district joint meeting. Now is the time to go for birthday and wedding announcement of Rotary Club of Madurai West. Coming week on 17th, Rotary Kushit celebrating his birthday, and for wedding anniversaries on 12th, it is on today, our Rotary Dr. Kannappan is celebrating his wedding anniversary, and on 14th, Rotarian C.S. Sanjay Kumar and Rotarian V. Sundar celebrating their birthdays, and on 19th, Rotarian Shaktivel is celebrating his birthday, and is a time for Secretary's announcement. Over to you, Balu.
Good evening, friends. On the day of Diwali, which is on 14th October, Saturday at 8 a.m., we are providing breakfast to 50 plus children at Sevashram, Visalakshipram. I request our members to please join in large numbers on that day. Regarding our next week's regular speaker meeting, it will be in physical meeting. It will be on 20th October, Friday at 6:30 p.m. Venue JC Residency. It's a dinner meeting. The name of the speaker will be shared shortly in our WhatsApp group. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary, for announcement. Just now, our DG is arrived. Sir, can you hear me, sir? No issue. We'll go for next agenda and we'll come back for our chief guest presentation. Now it's the time I invite the chief guest, Rotarian CA Davinder Singh, District Governor, RA District 3070, to give his chief guest address. A few things about the District Governor. He create cancer vaccination for children 9 to 14 years, for food plant solutions and Rotary academic groups, and international fellowship of cricketers in Rotary district, and is making excellent thing to prevent cancer, and water solutions are the key areas in the district is promoting. With these few words, fellow Rotarians, I am very happy to welcome the chief guest of the evening, Rotarian CA Davinder Singh, District Governor, RA District 3070. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President Ramanathan and Secretary Balu, and my very dear friend and batchmate, District Governor A.L.Chockkalingam. A very good evening to all of you. And yes, the President of Rotary Club of Kashmir, Mr. Dost Muhammad Dar, and the Secretary Ramiz, and a dear friend from Mexico, I met him earlier also, Salvador, Rico. A very good evening to all of you. Before I start, wish you a very happy Diwali. And I wish that this Diwali bring a lot of lights in everyone's life in this especially pandemic era and the COVID times. I'm very glad to be here. I'm very glad to be invited here. And I feel very happy and pleased to know this, that a joint project between the Rotary Club of Madurai West and the Rotary Club of Kashmir in terms of tree plantation is going to take place. I think you Rotarians from Rotary Club of Madurai West needs a great round of applause. May I request all of you to please, let's give our thumbs up and with our claps. These kind of initiatives must be going on, must be continued, because this is what is the magic of Rotary, and this is what is the magic of the international flavor of the networking of the Rotary. Friends, I belong to the city of Amritsar, city of Golden Temple. So Amritsar is bang on the Indo-Pakistan border. And since we are meeting virtually, and if the COVID permits, may I request my dear friend, batchmate, District Governor A.L.Chockkalingam to plan a friendship exchange, because we people are very curious to know about Madurai, because I think it's a very historic and ancient city with so many beautiful heritage sites there. And yes, you will enjoy the atmosphere of Punjab, the hospitality of Punjab, Himachal, and of course Jammu and Kashmir. And if we could do some friendship exchange program among the district, so both the district, it will be a new beginning, I would say. So our district have been hosting the various districts, and I think we'll do it. And friends, one more thing is there I would like. So whenever somebody visits from abroad or from outside our district, so we do not allow them to stay in the hotels, they stay in our homes. So I openly, with open heart and open arms, invite all of you to please be here and be our guest. And please allow us to give the hospitality for you. Once again, congratulations to each and every one of you and all the Rotarians. So this organization, which is actually the fulcrum and I would say the main to connect with each other, and this bonhamai and fellowship must go on. So maybe pandemic or COVID, I think this is a blessing in disguise. We are meeting virtually. Once again, congratulations. God bless you. All the best. Please continue.
Thank you, Governor, for your invitation. We will be there. We are ready to meet you. We are coming there, and we are ready to meet you with the support of our DG. Now it's a time to our chief guest address from our DG. I want to say a few words about our District Governor, A.L.Chockkalingam, sir. He is a member of Rotary Club of Pudukkottai, and during this pandemic situation, we don't know how we are going to conduct the year, but because of our governor, we can able to conduct all meetings in a better way through this Zoom platform. I want to say one small example. For every district event, our meeting attendance will be some 100 or 125. Because of this effort of our district governor, be able to reach 300, even 500 numbers we can able to reach in district meeting through platform. It is possible only because of you, Anand. It's only possible because of you. One more thing I want to tell you. This year, our governor implemented super 66 projects. You cannot believe, Madurai, we are having around 25 clubs. In 25 clubs, we are able to complete 75,000 saplings in this year. 75,000 means it is really unbelievable numbers. We are able to achieve this because of the support and guidance given by our district governor, Dr. A.L.Chockkalingam sir. One more thing, he also concentrated in rainwater harvesting project and happy school project. So he also having the ability to control all the clubs, mingle all the clubs. We all jointly doing this project, all doing it very successfully because of our district governor. So with these few words, I welcome our district governor, Dr. A.L.Chockkalingam sir, to give his chiefest address. Over to you, Anand. Over to you.
Good evening to all. Thanks, Ramanathan, for a nice introduction to our district. It is not for me. It is a nice introduction to our district project. Good evening to everybody. Dear Madurai, Rotary Club of Madurai West President Ramanathan, Secretary Pala Subramanian, Rotary Club of Kashmir President Dost Muhammad, and Secretary Ramesh, and my dear friend, really is my dear friend Davinder, and Dolly. I think there is no Dolly. Is nice sister also. And then the speaker Amit Wanchoo, and very good evening to all my Rotarians from both the clubs, the Rotary Club of Kashmir and Madurai West. It is a very nice time, I feel, because the Zoom, the pandemic created many illness to us, but it opens many new opportunities also. The Zoom meeting is one of the opportunity. It is given by pandemic only. Otherwise, we cannot experience the new platform. So it makes possible the India or throughout the world is under as a one village. Nowadays, global village is a concept. Now, by Zoom, it has become reality. We can the Madurai Club and the US Club, Madurai Club and Kashmir Club. Every nook and corner of the world can meet and exchange friendship is a new experience given by the Corona. For this only for this opportunity, I thank Corona. I think, and then I welcome my friends' new idea, the friendship exchange, and already my friend at Indore, Kajendra also already told this idea. Because the pandemic, we are unable to think the new ideas, enjoy your friendship, Davinder. Surely after the pandemic, our friends will enjoy your friendship, and also we are ready to give hospitality to the brothers at Amritsar and at your district. Even you are ready to welcome from Kashmir also. It's a very nice, it will be a nice experience. And then I thank the Rotary Club of Madurai West, President Ramanathan and his team for creating the new friendship within our country. The India is a lot of language, many cultures, many ethnics. There is we are unity between the diversity. It is our uniqueness. We are always a lover of peace, not for any other things. We are maybe here and there at history. There is some religion problems and the religion wars also. But always the Indians, always the brotherhood people. He like always love each other. The Rotary make it more easier and more closer. I think like that. In that way, our clubs now, by the Zoom, they creating new friendship, new world, new groups. it's according to our RI President Kolganar, it is a new opportunity to us. And then I appreciate the project, joint project of Miyawaki Forest. It's a very good thing because nowadays, not only now, we are facing many problems according to climate change. The fall in rainwater, rain falling, and then groundwater level, and the climate change. We are facing many problems, but now in future, in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, we cannot, unimaginable problems are awaiting our future generation. It is a threat to every human being, I think. So we have initiated in small way the rainwater harvesting and tree planting. We are planning to grow 2 lakhs trees in Miyawaki method. Our friends, even though amidst of the pandemic, amidst of their hands and legs are tied by pandemic, they are doing well. I am very proud of my members and clubs. As like the words of Ramanathan, we touched 1.5 lakh saplings already planted. The balance will be reached shortly, I think. Another one is rainwater harvesting. Uh, we plan to minimum 1,000 to 2,000 members house rainwater harvesting system. But already we are having roughly more than 1,000 members having the rainwater harvesting system at their home. But we are planned more than another 1,000 or 2,000. But according to the pandemic, we are unable to do that. Minimum here and there some do. But we planned every club must do minimum one place at public building. But majorly all clubs have done that project, even though at the pandemic time. I appreciate my friends. I also request my Davinder, you can take these two projects. It's a evergreen. We can satisfy after 10 years, 20 years, 30 years also. So I once again thanks Rotary Club of Madri West President Ramanathan and Rotary Club of Kashmir President Tosh Mahmood at that time for the joint project. And also request both the clubs to do another one project, permanent project. Uh, we must having the evergreen remember of the joint project because we are in the south end of India. The Kashmir is the north end of our country. We have two symbols at both ends. It will be a very historical moment to both the districts. So kindly initiate another one project. I will support as ever as possible by the from district to do the project. It may be related to education. It will be nice one because due to 13, 14, and then at that flood at North India, our district erected more than 10 schools, I think, at Himachal Pradesh or Uttarakhand. I don't know the exact place. So like that, both the clubs can do any one school related project, education project related joint project. It will be memorable to both districts and both clubs, and also to myself and my friend Davinder also. Uh, Thanks for this good initiative of joint meeting, joint project. I am proud of my club Madurai West. Thank you, Ramanathan, and your team. Congratulations.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you for your wonderful words. Really, we want to do some joint project with RI District 3000 and RI District 3070. With the guidance of both the governors, we will do the project. Thank you. Thank you once again for both of you. Thank you. This is a time for the speech of by special guest from California, USA, Rotarian, Salvador Rico. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity to allow me to be with you. I'm really happy to see both of your districts joining into doing a project in Kashmir. I'm really happy to see that. It makes my heart full of joy. Met Dostar a few years ago because we were doing a river cleanup project through a challenge from WASRAG back in 2017. And we have kept in communication and encouraged them to develop a Rotary Club in Kashmir because at the time they didn't have one. So to see that finally they are doing some Rotary projects and joining with other Rotary clubs, it really, really fills my heart with joy. I sent a message to the district governor, Davinder, that I want to support the project. So I will be donating directly to his district $500 towards this reforestation project, and hope to see more projects in the future in any way that we can support you. Through ESRAG and WASRAG, we have encouraged Rotary clubs to do river cleanup projects, beach cleanup projects, environmental awareness campaigns, reforestation projects, and so on. So I encourage you to continue working together because we live in the same house. We live in our planet. It's one planet that we live on, and we need to take care of it for our future generations. So seeing the reforestation project that you're trying to do now, it is huge. It is huge for future generations. I want to share with you also that right now, we're also sponsoring a reforestation project in Turkey, District 2440. They are doing a 100,000 trees reforestation project that is called the Rotary Forest, the Rotary Peace Forest. So it's something that is going to take them about 3 years. Something that we could replicate in India, in Kashmir area, and all over the world, in doing reforestation projects everywhere, restoration of the forests, something that is really, really important. Again, thank you for the opportunity. Congratulations on working together with that. And I'm really happy to be able to participate from the distance, but at least with a little something. So thanks again, and bless you all.
Thank you, Rotary in Salvador, Rico, for your words, and thank you very much for your support for the development of Kashmir. Now it's the time to introduce the speaker of the evening. I invite Rotarian Dostar Muhammad, the President of Rotary Club of Kashmir, to introduce the speaker. Over to you, Dostar. Dost, can you hear me? You please unmute yourself.
Okay.
Yes.
A very good evening to all. Thank you, President Ramanathan. It is my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for today Inter-Club Zoom meeting, Dr. Amit Wanchoo. Amit is not a speaker only, but a great human being, a versatile personality, a social activist, and an orator. It may need hours to introduce him, but keeping the time factor in view, I will give you just a gist of broader and visible aspects of his life. Trained as a medical doctor, Amit is the CEO of Space Communications, first event management company of Jammu and Kashmir. Dr. Wanchoo is also director of Eton Laboratories, which is the only pharmaceutical manufacturing unit of Kashmir, actively involved in low-cost healthcare. Amit travels widely around the globe and has been fellow at leading schools and universities of the world, including Yale, Harvard Kennedy School, and London School of Economics. Dr. Wanchoo is also founder of a trust in the name of his grandfather, which runs a unique humanitarian project named Free Night Ambulance Service for the people of Valley. Amit is a regular columnist of leading English daily Greater Kashmir, published from Srinagar, and writes regularly for Asia Global Online Digital Journal of Asia Global Institute, Hong Kong. Amit has utilized medicine, art, and culture as an effective tool of managing conflict. Dr. Wanchoo has focused on entrepreneurship, skill building, and job creation as modes of managing conflict. Being born in Kashmir in an age full of crisis and uncertainties, Amit did not lose hope and he actively started to do something for his people and got engaged in affordable healthcare, social activism, entrepreneurship, development, promoting tourism, and reviving art, culture, and heritage in Kashmir. He utilized art and events as the medium for sowing seeds of positivity in Kashmir. He is a music composer and writer who founded first music band of Kashmir, Immersions. Amit also runs a documentary film company which has produced award-winning films. Dr. Wanchoo has revived various folk and art forms of the Jammu and Kashmir. He has organized programs in crisis situations and promoted local art and culture of the J&K. Dr. Wanchoo has worked a lot in bringing regional and religious gaps between different societies in both Jammu and Kashmir. Dr. Amit has received various awards, which include All Hairs Fellow 2005, Commonwealth Fellow 2006, Yale World Fellow 2007, Young Global Leader 2009 by World Economic Forum, Fellowship in Global Leadership and Public Policy at Howard Kennedy School 2014, Asia Global Fellow 2018, KBF Aspen Fellow 2019, and numerous others. And not taking more time, I am concluding my introduction. Thank you. Thank you, President.
President, please unmute yourself. President Ramnagar, please unmute yourself.
Sorry, now it's audible. Thank you very much, Rotary Dose Movement, for your wonderful introduction about the speaker. Now it is to you, over to you, Dr. Rotarian PHF Amit Wanchoo. Over to you for your speech.
Thank you so much. First of all, my special thanks to everyone, both the DGs. It is an honor to be part of Rotary and be with Rotary, and President Ramanathan, Secretary of the Club Madurai, Mr. Balu, President Dost Mohammed, who has been working hard not only through Rotary but even many years before that in the social field, then the Secretary, Mr. Ramiz. And I'm also honored to have Rotarians from Calcutta, Mr. Irfan from Rotary Club Calcutta, and Mr. Salvador, and all other Rotarians. It is an honor because I always consider Rotary as a family. Rotary has taught me a lot in my life, and having been associated with this organization now for almost 15, 16 years, it is an honor to be with all of you here. So before I go to the presentation, I would like to say one thing, that it is, as DG Sir Chokalingam rightly said, and Davinder Sir also rightly said, that Zoom has given us an opportunity, right? Right now, we would have never thought to connect from all across, not only in the country and outside country. So thank you so much again. And let me start the presentation. So today's presentation, I have titled Value Kashmir. Value in Kashmiri means come to Kashmir. And as you all know, Kashmir always invites people, has been known for its hospitality. And as I was making this presentation and I had this city Madurai in my mind, let me share with all of you that in Kashmiri language, we have a word called Madur Hai. Madur Hai means that it's very sweet, it's very tasty, it's very nice. So it's a beautiful experience for me to do this presentation for both the clubs and for both the districts. So since we are now in autumn and autumn has started, so I'll be taking you through the various destinations and places that our place offers. As we have a very famous saying that by a Mughal emperor, अगर फिरदौस बर्रुए ज़मी अस्ता अस्ते हमें अस्ते हमी अस्ते हमी अस्ते. If there is a paradise on this earth, it is this, it is this, it is this, and that's Kashmir. So we are now in autumn, and what you are seeing is basically the chinar trees. And this gold, this brown is one of my favorite seasons, when you grow all across the valley and you can see all these beautiful colors, not only of chinar, but all other trees and all other things that we have here. And especially this chinar is my favorite because when you go through Mughal gardens of Kashmir in autumn, you will see so many beautiful chinar trees, whether it is in Nishat or in Shalimar or in Chashmishai or Pari Mahal. Because once you land in Srinagar, one of the places that you mostly are taken are the Mughal gardens of Kashmir. And you can see these chinar trees in autumn, they look so beautiful and give you that feeling. And in summers also, like you're seeing, this is one of the parts of Pari Mahal. It's very, very exciting, and families come and it's full of flowers and full of greens, full of water, all these gardens, and you always enjoy this scenic beauty. And people mostly come with families, outings, and we have lots and lots of tourists who visit these Mughal gardens. This is one of the shots and one of my favorite places, what we call Pari Mahal. And if you have to have the beautiful view of Dal Lake and the adjoining areas of that full boulevard road, if any of one has come and those who have not come, for them I will also define that it's a whole stretch of Dal Lake. And then from this Pari Mahal, you can have beautiful viewpoints. And you will catch such glimpses which in your camera will be memorable forever. And when coming back to autumn, when you travel in autumn, all these chinar leaves, you must have seen many, many times, these colors give you that reflection and that taste that we all see in our journey whenever we visit these places. This is again autumn outside Srinagar also is very beautiful in South Kashmir as well as in North Kashmir. This is one of the places in South Kashmir called as Verinag Spring, where from we say the origin of Jhelum or Vitasta river is there. And this is a beautiful spring again in autumn as well as in summer. And as cricket is very famous, like we mostly have our exam sessions happening in October, November. This time COVID, it is a bit delayed. Otherwise, once children are free with exams, the autumn is so synonymous with cricket, because since the winter is going to set in, so most of our people before the snowfall try to utilize as much as you can. And this is one of the fantastic times to see all cricket you will see around in these golden chinar trees and grounds. And same, it's another place we have in South Kashmir called Kokarnag. It is also one of the most beautiful places if you have to see all variety of flowers in summer. And then in autumn, you will see all kinds of colors in this particular area. And then the lake that we see in Srinagar, we have Dal Lake as well as Nagin Lake. These are the two lakes which you mostly when arrive in Srinagar, you will see. Especially Dal Lake in autumn gives you different shades, because you know that the level and the sultry atmosphere that's all across, it's so appealing that you will enjoy to see that moment. And one of the main things that Kashmir has always is shikara in this Dal Lake and Nagin Lake. And you must have seen this boat. We call it shikara, and we have lots of people associated with this trade, and they run shikaras in these two lakes, especially a lot in Dal Lake, which is very common, but also in Nagin Lake. And in summers, when you have flowers and other things in the Dal Lake, it looks so beautiful when people are moving around, and most of the times it's one of the most romantic rides. I would say that if you have never visited Kashmir, always come with your better half and have one of the best shikara rides you can have. It's the most romantic thing you can have. And then this is something which is very unique to Kashmir, what we call as the floating market. This is again in Dal. And in this lake, you will see mostly in summers, early morning, we have floating gardens in Dal Lake, and we have a lot of vegetables that come fresh. And you're seeing a few of the things in the boat, and right from the collard greens to all kinds of what we call kamal kakadi and other things, you will always enjoy these fresh vegetables. And in winters, obviously, it's a bit late when the light comes, but in the summers, it starts all the way from 4:35 in the morning. This is something so beautiful. Whenever you come here, just select a day, get up early in the morning and visit these areas. You'll really enjoy it. And especially when we are in the lake, how can you forget houseboats? You know, that houseboat is one unique thing in Kashmir. Obviously, we have seen in Kerala, but they were designed and copied from here, but still are not made in this form as you can see here. In Kashmir, the houseboats have a unique feeling, and again, a huge population is attached to it, this particular trade. They have a wonderful grandeur. They are designed beautifully, both internally and externally. So whenever you are visiting houseboat Kashmir, you should always stay for a night in houseboat. And these are the unmatched beauty of, I can say, man-made as well as obviously God-gifted. And you should visit and stay in a houseboat whenever you get the chance to come to Kashmir. And then who can forget, like, Rotary opens opportunities. And I personally believe that Rotary and tourism are so much together, and they have done a lot in this world for creating opportunities. And it's not today, it's long history, almost 100 years plus, that Rotary is one of the main organizations which has promoted all kinds of tourism, whether it used to be your inter-district meets, or whether it used to be district meets, or whether it used to be with international conventions and everything. So I think Rotary in itself has been one of the major things and has opened the opportunities for tourism in this world. So as winter is going to set in another month or so for us in a severe form, and when you have minus, you can see these freezing in this picture. It is the upper layer is frozen when we have minus, as Ramesh was also saying that now we start having minus during night. And when you have this minus temperature, the lake gets frozen till morning. And then these boatmen or people, this once they are traversing through it, in the morning they make these waves in this. It's one of the most beautiful things to experience. No doubt will be cold for people from Madurai, but definitely once in a life you should try this time. And we also have one beautiful thing that's called the migratory birds. And these migratory birds, they come from all over. And since once the snow starts falling here in Kashmir, you will see all the way right from Siberia and Russia. These birds come and they land in Srinagar and are here for 2 to 3 months time, and then they go back. And this has been happening for years and years together. If you come now onwards, and from December especially, you will be able to see all these birds in big flocks in all the lakes around. We also have Wuller Lake and many other Hokersar and other lakes which are there. And you will see all these beautiful birds all across. It's so beautiful to see them in winters and the movements that they have in these winters. So when we talk about snow, because snow is one of the things that Kashmir is known for. In fact, Kashmir is an all-season destination. We were talking about autumn, now we're in winter where you see snowfall, and then we'll be traversing spring as well as summer. So all across the year, you can travel anytime, whenever you feel like. And when we talk about snow, the first thing that comes to our mind is Gulmarg, an adventurous place, and the snow gives you a lot of adventure tourism opportunities, not only in Gulmarg, but also in Pahalgam, also in Sonmarg, where you can do lots of things. Sonmarg mostly is not that much accessible because it's very freezing cold, and then it touches the Leh and Kargil there, and that side is too cold. So most of the people in winters either go to Gulmarg or Pahalgam. Gulmarg has more facilities than Pahalgam, but now Pahalgam has also come up and they have also developed many facilities, the Department of J&K Tourism there. Skiing is one of the things where in Gulmarg, we have a lot of winter activities which happen, right from winter sports to snow carnival, to arts, to crafts. Everything happens in Gulmarg in a big way. And then the sister place, that's Pahalgam, also takes care of many activities which range from art to culture to sports. And one of the best tournaments, even last time we had Khelo India, which happened this year. That was the last event that happened this year before the COVID set in. Again happened in Gulmarg. It was the Winter Games. And in 2021, if things are going to happen, we again are going to have Winter Games in Gulmarg. And you have also a beautiful skiing school where you can come with your children for 15 days, for a month there, and learn whatever you want to learn there, because you can have accommodation, you can have all kinds of other stuff which is available there. Even many people go in snow for various trekking routes. There are these trekking routes go through the Gulmarg. They also go from Sonmarg to Kargil. They also then, erstwhile state we used to have Leh, then the Chadar trek used to be there. So there are different trekkings which happen in snow as well. And then the summer trekkings, I will talk about it a bit further. Then paragliding in snow, yes, it happens. And we have that as a winter sport. And paragliding in summer also happens. And in addition to like the regions in Kashmir Valley, which have different places, like right from Gulmarg, some areas in Sonmarg, then in Srinagar, we have a place called Dara, where you can do paragliding in summers. And Gulmarg, as when we come to Gulmarg, talking about Gulmarg and not mentioning gondola will be not at all justified. It's a 6-seater Poma design gondolas, which basically in one way you have three people sitting on one side and 3 people sitting on other side. And then you have 2 phases, phase 1 and phase 2. So it is Afarvat, where you can basically go all the way up and see, mostly when the weather is calm and the winds are not there, it's not that windy, then you can go to the second phase. It's quite safe. But more if the weather is not fine, then you're taken to phase 1 only. And then all-terrain vehicle, what we are talking about, is one of the most important things. And this enjoying the ride in snow, it's one of another thing that we'll see. It's very common. And it is nowadays available now in Sonmarg also, Pahalgam and Gulmarg. You can enjoy and go on this bike all across all the terrains safely and enjoy this ride. So once winter finishes, we come to a place when the flowers are started blooming, and it's around March when we see first of the flower that's called daffodils, and in Kashmiri we call it Yambarzal. That's also the time when we have the Kashmiri New Year and the Nowruz happening around. And once we have those things happening, we are joined by tulips. And this is one of the most beautiful places to go, and you should never miss, because I'm sure many of you must have seen what I'm showing now in this picture is called Tulip Garden. This is one of the famous gardens in whole Asia. And if you have to really enjoy the beautiful blossom of tulips and flowers, this is open only for a month or so, depending on the weather. If sometimes it's more rainy, then it gets delayed. Otherwise, around April, first week of April, it starts, and that's the month when you should come. And it is in Srinagar. It provides you all the most beautiful essence that you want to see and feel in Kashmir. And the spring air is so beautiful. In addition to this tulip, you also have almond blossom. It is all these purplish trees that we have all across Kashmir Valley in major places where almonds are there. In fact, our soil is so rich that you can have almonds almost everywhere. But then there are zones wherein we have more famous places, like in Srinagar, we have a place called Badam Wari. Badam means almond, and Wari is like a bag. So it's one of the places which is famous in Srinagar for almond blossom. And same you can see in South Kashmir in various districts like Pulwama, Shupian, Kokarnag, Anantnag, and then also in north like Bandipora, Baramulla, and even in Gandarbal, you can see lots of places where you have this blossom. And once this season is going on, we are just between the spring and summer, and the whole nature is poetic with you. Wherever you go, whichever place you visit during that time, it's so beautiful. The feeling is so green and so fresh. Because as we were talking, nature is something which is best always for all of us. And then many of you must have heard the word Pahalgam. It is another place which comes in South Kashmir. And obviously in winters it has snow, but in summers it's very beautiful. As the summer set in, the snow has melted in the mountains, and then this water is flowing all across, and you will just be mesmerized while listening to the sound of this water. Just stay on the side of this water without any music. Spend some time in silence and just listen to this music of water. You will have so much of relaxation, and you will just feel without stress. And then in Pahalgam, we have beautiful valleys. One of the beautiful valleys is called Aru Valley, and then also Betab Valley, and then many other valleys, which you should definitely trek in summer. And especially you should enjoy this in the early mornings or just in evenings before sunset. These are really beautiful. And then another part that comes, just because Dostar comes from one of the districts called Gandarbal, and from Gandarbal we move towards Swanmarg. Sonmarg is another beautiful place which we visit in summers. It's also famous for rafting, it's famous for mountaineering, it's famous for many other adventure sports activities. And mostly in summer times, a lot of activities happen. And Sonmarg also then touches its place with Kargil, where you have to go through Jojila and then you can head to Leh. So sometimes if you have to really enjoy a combination of Kashmir and Ladakh, I would always suggest you straight away fly to Srinagar and then go to Sonmarg, stay there for a night till you acclimatize. Then from Sonmarg, go to Kargil, stay there for one more night, and you can see beautiful places wherein the Vijay Divas happens, those activities, and also the Draupadi Kund and other places, and then go to Leh. Or you can do vice versa, land in Leh, be in Leh, do certain things, then to Kargil and then to Sonmarg. But doing it from Sonmarg to Kargil and Leh will always be better because you're acclimatizing yourself. And Sonmarg is also very famous for these meadows, and most of the Gujars and Bakarwals who come in the summer to Sonmarg with their all the shepherds you will find with their goats and with their other stuff, they are in Sonmarg all around for 4-5 months. And Sonmarg is also famous because that's also a route, one of the routes to Shri Amarnath Ji Yatra, while the other route goes through Pahalgam. This is one of the best falls we have here in South Kashmir. It's called Aharbal Fall. Again, in summers, it's a beautiful fall. Whenever you get time, do visit this place. It's a very beautiful place. And this fall is one of the biggest falls, at least in our region. And Yusmarg comes, another place comes in central Kashmir near district Badgam. It's a beautiful place. And just adjacent to Yusmarg, we have another place that's called Dadpathari. Dadpathari is something similar to Gulmarg, like it has lots of meadows. And then the adjacent place to Dadpathari, in the same area, we have Tosa Maidan. So these are beautiful meadows which you can explore and are places which have not been exposed so much because there are many, many, many places in Kashmir which are still not on the tourism map actually. Then, as I was talking about trekking, we have high altitude lakes, innumerable high altitude lakes in Kashmir. And if any one of you likes trekking in summer, you can go to these lakes. One of the famous lakes, I have just mentioned 3-4 because it's a huge number of lakes, is called Kaunsarnag. Then we have another one which is called Gangabal, and it is one of the sources of Indus River in Kashmir. Then you have Vishansar, and then we have another lake, it's called Krishnasar. And after these lakes, let us move to one more thing, which is the horticulture produce. Kashmir, as you know, as an industry, both in terms of tourism, which is also dependent on this horticulture part, especially walnuts, we have almonds, we have apples. All this forms almost 70% of the production and the earning of our people in terms of whatever they contribute to the economy. So these are green walnuts. You must have seen always the dried walnuts that you get there, but these are green walnuts, very tasty to eat. And you basically cut them with a knife. You just put the upper cover and then get the kernels out. This is so tasty. You just have to remove the cover and eat it. It's very, very tasty. One more thing that is very active in Kashmir is golf, because it has been known as the golfer's paradise. And we are lucky to have a complete circuit of golf. We have a beautiful golf course. One is a small golf course. We call it Kashmir Golf Course. It's in the center of the city called A.L.Chockkalingam. Then we have Gulmarg Golf Course. Then we also have a golf course in Pahalgam. And we even in Jammu or Ladakh, when it was connected, we used to have a golf course in Sidra also, and we used to have golf course in Ladakh as well. And then in Srinagar, one of the major places where you have an 18-hole golf course, and this is in the middle of the city forest. It's called Royal Springs Golf Course. And this was basically designed by a very famous architect, Robert Trent Jones Jr. too. And believe me, whenever you come, go to this place in Srinagar, you just have to pay a small entry fee there and then take a golf cart round of the whole Royal Spring Golf Course. It will take you at least 2 hours to move in that golf cart. You can drive yourself or you can take a driver, whatever way is convenient to you. But do visit this place. This is not only golf. It gives you the taste of lots of forest and herbs, as you know, medicinal plantations, and lots of produce that Kashmir is famous for. Because I should tell you that Kashmir and Jammu both give huge herbs and huge medicinal plants which are produced at various places. And in fact, as you were talking about different grants and different things, I would also suggest that both the clubs should basically join and work on a herbal garden. It will be a great service. Then rafting, as we are adventurous and you know that it is one of the sports that's loved by people. So we have white water rafting here, which happens mostly in Sonmarg and in Pahalgam, and this happens in summers. And we have lots of tournaments happening here, both regions, in Sonmarg as well as in Pahalgam. And teams come, national as well as international team, and lots of tournaments have happened in this sports as well. Now angling, as Mr. Ramanathan is in fishing, so I would like his attention as well. Like, you know, trout fish is so important and so famous here in Kashmir, and it comes from the areas, different areas of Kashmir Valley. But yes, Pahalgam is one of the areas where from we people say it's one of the best trouts, but there are also other areas as well. And we have trout farms and different places, even in Dachigam National Park in Srinagar and all other adjoining areas. And angling is one of the things which people are very much taking as a hobby. And you will see we have both kinds of fishes. Mostly people in Kashmir don't eat fishes from spring, because there's a saying in Kashmir that na gargin halal ke, so people don't eat that, and people mostly eat from the fresh water. And this is one of the famous personalities. We had Mr. Scott, who has been one of the pioneers in getting angling so famous here in Kashmir. Then apples. Kashmir without apples is not possible. And as you know that we have some major places where an apple is got. One of the major towns in North Kashmir we call Sopore. It's known as an apple town. And then in South Kashmir, we also have places which are like Shupian, we have Pulwama, we have Kulgam, even in district Anantnag, where apples grow in big numbers. So we have different varieties of apple. In Kashmiri variety, you have called Ambri Kashmiri, then Delicious Kashmiri, but now we also have hybrid formats which have been imported from Italy and other places, and people are growing that. So this is the time around October wherein you start getting apple as a produce, and it's a beautiful time to visit these apple orchards and indulge in so many beautiful games of apple plucking or making apple jams or making all kinds of apple stuff. And then as we proceed, one of the famous spices of Kashmir and one of my favorites is saffron. And this saffron produce comes last week of October or November, first week depending on the weather. Because saffron grows in one of the belts which is very famous for saffron. It's called Pampur in Kashmir, and it comes in district Pulwama in South Kashmir, and major produce happens in Pampur. And there's a special kind of soil that we have. And now recently government has brought a GI in saffron, so you can purchase saffron now which is original, because a lot of mixing was happening in saffron. So the red one, the red stigma that you are seeing, these are 3 stigmas. And if you make a simple tea of this, it is in COVID, it will be really helpful to all of you to have a saffron tea, because it is one of the biggest immune booster. And the yellow part is not saffron. Many times what we purchase on a lower cost is that this yellow stigma is colored with red, which is not a part of it. The red stigma is there, saffron. And then spiritual tourism is like the Jamia Masjid, because spirituality is all across in Kashmir, and it's one of the major places to have all kinds of religions, all kinds of things have grown here. So this is Jamia Masjid Mosque in Srinagar downtown. And this is Hazrat Bal Shrine, one of my favorite shrines in Srinagar, where you can come and visit. And then Shankaracharya temple, as you know, Shankaracharya had come here. This is Lord Shiva's temple, one of the oldest ones here. And then Hari Parvat temple, this is the temple wherein you will see that Shri Yantra originated from this place, and all the geometrical forms you can see on this statue. Then Sheshnag, this while you are going to Amarnath Yatra on way, you can see that. And this is the Shri Amarnath Ji Yatra, which happens every year here. And then this is Mata Kheer Bhavani temple. This is in Dosdas district. And this is the spring that you are seeing. This is a Shiv Shakti temple. And the spring color changes as the situations in Kashmir change. And people have a strong belief on this. Both Hindus and Muslims visit this place. And most of the caretakers who are there, they are Muslims, and they don't eat non-vegetarian. They fast on all the Navaratras and do it. And even a lot of people who are associated with the milk get their first milk produced and pour in the temple in the mornings. Then handicrafts of Kashmir is one very important thing which we have seen right from paper mache to sozni to cribble work. So paper mache is very important. Then wood carving is there. This is the hand copper art which you will see lots of artisans are involved in. And this is the wood carving that we see mostly. And then the needlework, fine needlework, sozni work, cribble work, tilla work, all kind of stuff you can see here as far as the handicrafts is concerned. And then there's a lot of heritage related things, whether it's natural and built heritage or the monumental heritage and the heritage houses that we see, the architecture, this all is very unique to this place. And whenever you come, you should always take a heritage walk in the Srinagar downtown, what we call as Shahre Khas, and you can explore all other things. So we talk of Kashmir, and without Bollywood, it's never possible. And Bollywood is one of the things that has been very common in Kashmir, right? And in December 2013, we had basically completed the first portion wherein in last 7 to 8 years after normalcy, we had all the films shot, right from Rockstar to Jab Tak Hai Jaan, and then post it was Haider and Bajrangi Bhaijaan and all other films, which has generated a connection with Kashmir. And food finally, because Kashmiri breads, we have different kinds of breads here, right from Chachviru to Lavas to simple roti to taktas to bagar khani. You can see all this, and this is in Kashmiri we call these bakers as kandur, and they are very unique. This is one of the rural shops picture that you are seeing. You should always taste this. This is very good and very healthy compared to what we have, these biscuits and bakeries, whatever we take other. And then this one is called harissa, which now winter has set in. And in Srinagar downtown, we have some shops. This is something, if you are familiar with halim in Hyderabad, but in halim you put the dal, and in harissa we don't put the dal. And basically you eat it with the Kashmiri roti in the morning, and then for the whole day you don't basically eat. This is a shop where you have to go early morning, because once you reach at 9, after that you will not get it. And then this is a Kashmiri Pandit cuisine wherein you have both a mix of vegetarian and non-vegetarian. In vegetarian, you have Kashmiri saag and haq, what we call collard greens, then Kashmiri nadur yakhni, then damalu, which is made of aloo, rajma, then brinjals, which are cooked as a khatte bangan or chokwangun, we call it in Kashmiri. And in non-veg, you will have minced meat called mats. Then you have Kashmiri rogan josh, which is a red gravy. Then you have Kashmiri kalia, which is a yellow gravy. And then who can forget Vazwan? Vazwan has a huge course. Somewhere it's 7, somewhere it's 24, somewhere it's 36. So I will just mention the main things. One is the kebab that you are seeing in the plate. Then we have rista, which is a round with red gravy. Then the one which is basically fried, it's called tabak mas or kabarga, what we say. Then we have vaza chicken. And then the white one you are seeing is goshtab. And the center you're seeing, that's an onion chutney, what we call. And then there are a huge number of other dishes, right from marswangan korma to methi mas. So I would love whenever you guys are here to host you for all these things. So with this, I think this is my journey. Kashmir, I can't do it in half an hour, but yes, whatever was the main thing for you. So I have tried to conclude that. So known to the world as Valley of Kashmir, and I personally believe, yes, it is paradise on this earth. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Ramanathan, and over to you.
Excellent presentation, Doctor. Excellent. In that half an hour, a lot of things we learn about Kashmir and the picture, everything, no words to tell. Wonderful speech. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Now it's the time for question and answer. Now the time.
Most beautiful in the last several years that we have listened to.
Super.
Thank you.
Great. What do the people speak? Kashmiri or Urdu or Hindi?
Our local dialect is Kashmiri, but people do speak a mix of Urdu, Hindi, Urdu, Hindustani, what we say, and even English. But yes, Kashmiri dialect.
Kashmiri. Thank you.
Kashmiri and Urdu similar languages or similarity with them?
No, there is a difference in the script, but because Kashmiri is a language which is basically a mix of, you can say, Sanskrit and Persian. So you will have most of the words which are related to either Sanskrit or Persian. So some words which are similar to Urdu or Hindi can also come there, but most of the times it's different than Urdu and Hindi.
We are very happy to inform you that 2 club presidents from Kanyakumari district have joined us here. So it's Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Nagarkoil South President and Shankar Bennett Singh from Kuliturai Rotary Club Captain. They have come, joined us. So we have covered from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, sir.
Wonderful.
That's
wonderful.
great.
Wonderful, sir. So one more thing, I have visited Kashmir 5 years before. During the time that transport will lot of delay. If you go by from 100 kilometers, it will take around 4 hours, 5 hours. Is still continue now, or is there any improvement in the transport now, sir? Road
So
transport.
that's which side it took you more time? Like you were visiting to Gulmarg, Pahalgam, or
Yes, I started from
because
Srinagar, then Gulmarg, Bagalkam, all the round I came. But one point to another point for some 100 kilometers, 50 kilometers, it will take 3 hours drive.
no, there has been now road widening on both sides, Gulmarg as well as Pahalgam. Initially, there were some issues wherein they could not widen the roads at different pockets, and that's why you could have that traffic was sealed. But now on both sides, the roads are perfectly widened.
Oh, you are not
Okay,
done anything.
Wanchoo, your presentation was very useful, and practically we were able to know why it is called Paradise on Earth. It was really paradise only, nothing else.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And slides were very carefully prepared and well presented. Thank you very much.
Well presented.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
And the last
Wonderful, sir.
slide, practically you put the entire Kashmir in a plate.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Can we ask questions, sir?
Yes, sir. Over to you, sir. Nadan, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, how is the situation now after the lifting of Article 271? Is the situation peaceful and people can, from any part of India, can come visit there without any apprehension?
Like whatever was done last year, definitely many people were also not happy here because they felt that because whenever you are living at some place and you feel that everyone is going to come and purchase the land or take the jobs and you may not get anything, so there was that anger. But for tourists, as far as I know, it has always been open for tourists, especially from the country. Like it has never been an apprehensive thing. And those things have slightly gone now off, like are better, but obviously COVID did not give us a chance. And telling you honestly, right now everyone is a bit disturbed here because they have suffered financially also. 1.5 years without work and without many things, because since August 2019, unfortunately, till January, February, we were also having nothing here. Everything was closed. And then people expected in March that the work will pick up, but then COVID came. So on that front, yes, slightly the moods are low, but definitely always open for people from our country, and they can come and visit us. Everything is fine there. Nothing in that regard. So perfectly safe in that regard.
Great.
Any more questions, sir? Or let us go to the end of the meeting. Anyone want to ask any question? Right. Okay. It's a time to recognize the visiting Rotarians. It's a time for Kashmir Club to visit, to recognize the Rotarians. Over to you, President. Yes, no, clear, sir.
We had
Those movement not clear, not clear. Okay, shall I proceed? No issue. I want to recognize the Rotarians of Rotary Club of Kashmir. First, the district governor of RI District 3070, Rotarian C.A. Davinder Singh. Then the special guest of the evening who joined from California, USA, Rotarian Salvador Rico. And from our district, RI District 3000, the district governor, Rotarian A.L.Chockkalingam from Rotary Club of Pudukkottai. Then Rotarian N. Selvaraj. Then Rotarian Ramalingam, then Rotarian R.A. Kumarasamy, then Rotarian Srinivasan from Dindikal West, then Rotarian D. Nagarajan from Virudhunagar, and also 2 Rotarians joined from Nagarkovil and then Kanyakumari. A lot of Rotarians, I don't know the exact names, but I recognize all visiting Rotarians for this meeting. Sir, you want to say something, Raja sir?
Our district joint secretary Kumarasamy also joined us.
Okay.
Captain Bennett Singh from Kulithurai and others are there. A very, very good gathering, in fact, to this meeting. Thank you.
Yes, it's a wonderful meeting and wonderful gathering. I thank all members for the full participation. And it is a time for vote of thanks. I invite Rotarian Muhammad Akram to propose formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, everyone. On behalf of Rotary District 3000 and Rotary District 3070 and the Rotary Club of Kashmir, I am thankful to all of you who participated in today's inter-district joint meeting, especially the District Governor, Rotary Club 300, A.L.Chockkalingam sir, Rotarian C.A. Davinder Singh, Rotarian Salvador Rico, the special guest from California, who has been a special helping hand in our project right now. And I'm thankful to Dr. Amit Wanchoo for his wonderful presentation and his wonderful presentation of the picture of the Kashmir, to our guests, to our other Rotarian brothers. And I'm thankful to everyone. Each of you showed great patience, and each of you listened very carefully to each and every aspect of this meeting. I'm looking forward to see such meetings on a routine basis. And I, on behalf of Rotary Club of Kashmir and our president, Mr. Dost Mohammed Dar, I'm very much thankful to all of you for joining this meeting. Thank you very much.